Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. Today we've got a little unboxing for you. So as you totally couldn't tell from the title of this video, what we have here is a Blendtec Classic 575 blender. Now, those of you that are familiar with these types of blender, you're probably thinking, why would one spend so much money on a blender? Well, looking at my nutrition and everything and trying to improve that, I realize it's a necessity to have a pretty good blender so I can get a lot of greens and stuff and made through smoothies and such. And I figured I didn't want to buy another blender down the road, so go ahead and buy once, cry once. I did a little research looking at blenders and everything, and it was between this and a Vitamix, and well, I really had to fall for the whole will it blend thing, so you know, why not? Let's just get a Blendtec. Without further ado, let's get into her here. Oh yeah, I also ordered this with the extra four-sided jar. I'm supposed to have a wild side jar and a four-sided jar here. So we got here. So we got our wild side jar, the lid right there. Four-sided jar. Lid to that one. Yep. Owner's manual, and there's the base of it right there. Oh yeah. Oh wow, I mean obviously there's a motor in there, but that's a bit heavier than I thought. The whole weight here of the whole thing was 12 pounds. I was a little bit worried this would feel more chintzy, but no, this is actually, this feels pretty sturdy, as it should for what I paid for this thing. Let's go ahead and get into these jars here, starting with the, let's start with the four-sided first. The lid. I don't know if I'm really in frame here that well, so sorry if I get off a little bit. Oh yeah, nice rubberized. I like that. It's not a plasticky thing that I feel like it's going to break. That feels pretty sturdy. Nice rubbery flexible lid. There you go, four-sided jar right there. I believe that's polycarbonate. And you've got a little spline shaft here and the infamous flat blade with winglets on it. Wow, this feels pretty darn sturdy. Onto the four-sided jar, same lid as before. Yeah, so I'll get into that one yet. And there's our wild side jar. Yeah, it's pretty sturdy plastic right there. Yeah, look at that big old blade. Yep, and as advertised, it is blunt. It's supposed to act more like a hammer mill with, you know, lots of RPMs there to more smash the food and the seeds and stuff and pulverize it into liquid rather than just slice it. So yeah, so far I'm a fan. Let's go ahead and peel off our protective sheeting here. Very nice. And for the first time that I know of in this blender's life, plugging her in. Boom. Now you reach around yonder ways there. There's a little switch on the back. Let's flip her on. And there's our odometer right there. These things keep track of how many blends you've done. And it's not going to be zero for very long. And for the first time, the jar going on. Pretty nice little fit up. And here we go, for the first time ever. I'm going to power it up on low. Got speed settings down here, and then you have the pre-programmed settings up here. I'm going to go ahead and just hit low here and see what she does. This motor obviously has never been broken in that I know of. And yeah, here we go. Nice. And it says we have one blend on there. Okay, so far I'm pretty happy with this thing. While I'm waiting for my fruit to freeze that I recently bought, let's go over some specs on this thing. So obviously this thing runs, well, here 120 volts, and it's rated at 1,560 watts. Now, Blendtec likes to use the marketing thing of saying 3 peak horsepower, but we all know that you can only pull around 1,800 watts from your breaker, your standard 15 amp breaker, before she blows. So yeah, that's not entirely honest. There are 745.7 watts in a horsepower, and at 1,560 watts, this machine is putting out just over 2 horsepower. So, you know, the way they get peak horsepower is, I think, the maximum capacity of the motor before like it burns, or what it's able to handle anyways. Now 2 horsepower is plenty of juice to get the job done here. This thing's advertised to run around 20,000, I believe, to 30,000 RPM, around there. I don't have a way to test that currently, but I'll just take their word for it for now. Now the owner's manual here is pretty nice. It's I mean, half of it's Spanish, but we've got quite a bit of content in here, as you can see. Covers basics, products, quick start, and recipes if you're interested in any of that. Okay, my fruit got frozen, and here we go. I'm gonna make the first blend ever with this thing. Making one of my favorite smoothies, strawberry, banana, and blueberry. Now there's not a whole lot of contents in there, but this is a really big jar, so I'm probably gonna use the 4-sided usually for my smoothies, but yeah, I just want to get the wild side to try. So here we go. Let's hit the smoothie button. Okay. Wow, that's a lot more well blended than my old blender would do. This is my old blender, by the way. Like a $15 little personal blender. It just couldn't keep up with the day-to-day struggle anymore. And of course, here goes the pour test. That's pretty smooth. That's a good smoothie. So yeah, as advertised, I'm not really crunching on any strawberry seeds or anything, or at least not yet anyway. Supposedly the sheer amount of violence that those blades inflict on the contents inside just completely pulverizes even the smallest seeds and everything. You get the most nutrients and everything out of it. Yeah, I'm pretty impressed. I mean, I should be. It's a Blendtec and they advertise the heck out of it. It better be impressive. Just to try out the function here, they say that to clean this thing, you can rinse the jar, put a cup of water in there with a drop of dish soap, and then hit the clean button. So, let's see how that goes. So, after all that being said, my final thoughts here, I'd probably give this a 9 out of 10. The only reason I deduct the point really is because of the marketing tactics they use. I don't really agree with it. But yeah, that's where we stand as of now, and stay tuned, and maybe in the future I'll give y'all some update videos on this thing. Thanks a lot for watching. See you next time.